Can you say Momo? Can you say Momo?
Say hi.
What are you going to teach the kids today?
Birdie.
Alright, so your official instructor is back. This is your assessment task notification breakdown for assessment task 1. So this is weighing 25% of your assessment mark for the HSC course. You receive this officially in class on this date, but the video is whatever time you are viewing this. We will have a confirmed date once the timetable for next year is out, but at the moment it's just pending here. But it will be in week 2 sometime. I probably imagine it'll be closer towards the end of the week than the start of the week. No, I gotta keep going. Ow. Okay, so it's a really simple task. So it'll be an in-class task. It'll be a timed response, and you're going to have a 5-mark question and a 15-mark question here. You'll have 5 minutes reading time and 50 minutes to working time to complete this in class. This is in accordance with the time expectations allocated in the HSC exam for this course as well. It's slightly longer actually, but once you pare down and break down your HSC exam, I think you roughly want to spend about this much time on it anyway. Of course, it's going to be on pop culture. That's our chosen depth study. So you'll have one 5-mark question, one 15-mark question there. You will not know what the questions will be before you get in. However, if I skip ahead just a little bit, you will know it'll be on one of these dot points here, which I'll go through each of them in a second. So I'll just go through this FAQ and then I'll come back to that. So in terms of how much you should write for this, NESA's guidelines about 800 words or 6 written pages, and that's including the 5 and 15-mark question. But I think I went to handwriting size, as some of you write in size 3 font. Ella Brady, looking at you, which is fine. But a better way to do it is to look at pure paragraphs. So for a 5-mark question, we would be expecting 2 pure paragraphs, or this is where you do 1 PEAL, so a larger pure paragraph depending on the question and how you like to answer it. And then the 15-mark question, you'd be looking at 3 to 4 pure paragraphs plus an introduction and a conclusion, again depending on how detailed each of these paragraphs are. If they're just your standard PEAL, you probably want 4. If they are a PEAL one, we're probably looking about 3. And that's the formal essay structure. You don't need an intro or conclusion for a 5-mark question, although if it helps you can have that 1-liner introduction and 1-liner conclusion. So are you going to be allowed to bring in any study aids or cheat sheets to assist you? No, you're not. You will not know the questions beforehand. Again, this is to practice at HSC. I would expect that you do work at home on this in terms of preparing draft responses for me to read, as well as your normal pattern of study. You can submit drafts. We're only going to accept 1 formal draft for both part A and B, no later than 1 week prior to the due date. If you want, after that, you can get us to verbally look at something and give you a little bit of feedback there, but in terms of a formal draft with a comment, written feedback, and like a guesstimated mark, there's only 1 of those afforded to each of you for a 5 and 15 marker. If you're wanting more than that, then you are out of luck because you only get 1 each. But again, happy to take lots of, I guess, mini drafts and talk you through this further. Yeah, Again, this is a formal lesson, so please don't use that personal language such as I, me, you, your, or our. It's not your PIP either. So making sure that you stick to those language conventions is really important. And if you need help, there's a bunch of different avenues here. You can talk to me as a classroom teacher. You can also talk to me as the head teacher. There's student services, COVID tutors, the Aboriginal education team if you are Aboriginal, and there's Homework Centre too. Now, in terms of what can be asked, it's going to be based off any of these dot points here. And Patrick's really excited about these. They're his favourite syllabus dot points. So these, there's 1, 2, 3, there's 6 here. And we've also, what I've put here as well is our related course concepts, because as you know, in society and culture, they will always pair, or not always, but 9 times out of 10, they will pair a syllabus dot point with a related course concepts for that topic. So making sure you have a really clear understanding of these related course concepts is really important, as they can fit into any of these dot points. So just an example off the top of my head might be something like, how the values of the popular culture experience continuity and change, or something like that. So that's how they can link those two sort of ideas in there. And sometimes the dot point has it embedded. So you'll see with this one, how globalization of technologies have influenced consumption. Consumption is already here. You can see, yeah, so consumption's already in this dot point. So you could almost just chuck a verb at the front of that. Explain, assess, evaluate, to what extent has, and you'd have a question there. And you can do that for a lot of these things to like assess the influence of power and authority at the micro, meso, macro level. So these are the different dot points it could be on. In terms of what each of these are about, you've got your course booklet with you as the syllabus dot point, as each of our headings in the course booklet, so you'll know all the content below each of those things as well. And these are from varying sections within the syllabus as well. So some of these are sort of at the, what you call the meaty end of the syllabus, and then some are sort of in the middle, and then some are from the front end. But it really doesn't matter which part of the syllabus they're on, as they can all be asked in an exam in the HSC, and indeed for our class test, you could get asked on any of these dot points. So these are the ones I'd really encourage you to study and have a clear understanding of before you come into that class test in term 1 of week 2. If you have any further questions on that, please let me know. Otherwise, happy studying, and I'll see you soon. Say bye. Come up and say bye.
Bye.